dozens of rides still to come at Kempton as well. Lots of market leaders. Too Smart, probably the best of the rides you've got left?
Yeah, she's more than capable of winning. She's a bit tricky, but you know, if she's got blinkers first time today, and if they work, she'll win.
And outside of her, what would you say the best of the others? You've got 2 or 3 other.
I really like Complicit in the next. He's a real synthetic horse. He loves his poly track, and up to a mile and a quarter shouldn't pose any problems.
And a good season for you once again, Luke. What is it, 172 winners, is that?
Yeah, 172.
172 winners. Don't you ever feel that you ought to give someone else a chance?
Keep grafting away.
Very well done. That is Luke Morris. Now, just over here are the owners of Presumido. Just before we wrap up here, Tom Queeley's here, incidentally, Frank Hall's jockey. Good to see him looking okay. A wry smile. Just wanted to have a look. Who is Mr. Moss and Mr. Page?
Mr. Moss, Jimmy.
Jimmy, and what's your first name?
Robert.
Robert. The reason I just wanted to go in, because obviously this horse usually ridden by Jack, and Jack's been given this 5-month suspension, and I just thought it might be worth just getting you. I haven't prepped you for this, but 5 months to me seems a long time.
We were discussing this earlier, and it seems such a shame. Yes, of course, he's had topping ups, but he's hardly likely to learn anything in the next 5 months. I don't really know what the answer is. I think 5 months is very, very harsh. But, you know...
I know some of it is suspended, but it seems to me that almost, you know, if 4 months of it have been suspended or something like that, it would make... He's only ever going to learn when he's actually riding.
Where can he learn?
Absolutely, but he has had trouble before. And I think, really, and honestly speaking, he needs to learn. And he is an apprentice, and he needs to learn that you can't do what he did.
I was speaking to Richard Perham the other day, who's at the British Racing School, and he was saying that with a jockey like Jack, they go into what they describe as a default mode in the finish, and that he knows what to do to make it right. But in a close finish, he goes into this old mode that he's finding it difficult to get out of the habit.
Yeah, absolutely. So you go back into the old habits, and but those habits are not going to change in the next 5 months if he's not riding.
And he's ridden your boy, because your boy takes a bit of riding, doesn't he?
You picked him up at the beginning of the year, unfortunately, and you know we came down with a bang when we went on the turf. But yeah, he gets on really well with the horse, and you know if he'd have been available, you would have probably ridden him today. But
I mean,
he can ride though, can't he?
He can ride, and he is a horse lover, and there's no viciousness in it.
Default mode, in a close finish, and you know, and that's it. It's a combination of many instances, and they've just got fed up with him, haven't they?
But I think a 5-month ban. I don't think he'll do it again.
So you're slightly coming down on the side of, look, this will make Jack realise that he's got to change.
He's young and he's still learning. He's been very successful, but he's doing the wrong thing, and he can't have an advantage over anybody else. Otherwise, the punter is disadvantaged because he's whipping more than the others. So I think
it's quite interesting because as joint owners, I get the feeling you slightly disagree. Totally. This is great.
We never agree on anything.
Will you have to sell this horse to Godolphin to split the partnership up?
If we could get what they got yesterday, we would.
Yeah, but just the judge. 4.5 mil would do nicely.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it fair to say, because I'm sure Jack's tuned in to see how the horse gets on today, this horse is waiting for him if he comes back and gets sorts out?
Absolutely.
On your half, anyway.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
But no, I don't think it's the right thing. But
and he does.
And I do.
Okay.
I do.
On that bombshell, we leave it here at Lingfield, and they're going off to have a right old smash up.
Well, Simon, I know you spoke to Jack, didn't you, at Wolverhampton last week, and he's a really good lad. But and I guess there are the two different opinions there. But if there's a repeat offender who's been told about it in the past, there does come a point where the bigger penalty does kick in.
Yeah, he's the first to acknowledge that. He's quite philosophical about the punishment. He's keen to take corrective measures. He intends to head back to the British Racing School to have a bit of coaching, and let's hope he can overcome the habits, the tendency, because you know he's a sound little jockey, and you look at his stats for last all-weather season, and they were particularly good. I think thinking back, I think Jack and Ali Rawlinson were the most profitable apprentices on the whole all-weather circuit last winter. They had the best strike rates. Of course, Jack riding many winners for Simon Dow as well as for Andrew Hollington. He's got plenty going on, I think, in his life to keep him occupied over the the winter months. So he's he's not going to be completely out in the cold. He's got a few things to get his teeth into, but now let's hope he can put it behind him, because he's he's a good jockey. I think he's a good judge of pace, and he's got all the components. But he wouldn't be the first young man, would he, to fall foul of this? We've seen so many good jockeys, haven't we, over time, coming up through the ranks who have had issues with the use of the stick.